Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is the 30th. I cannot see, I could not hear any of that. My sound is screwed up. But let's go through the charts first and then we'll fix that, yeah? All right, so coming over to the charts. Remember on Friday weekend we had Jackson Hole. We were expecting Powell to say a few things. He said a few things, but he didn't really say anything about a timeline for the taper, which was what the market really wanted to know the most about, even though pretty much every other Fed member did. So, yeah, the E-mini took off on that, and we had yields come back quite a good clip. Now, we're pretty close to this gap here, so I'm a little concerned about that, but you notice that since then, they've been pretty directionless, so we might have an opportunity to go short again here soon. Here you got oil. Oil is taking a hit. Well, I think the oil is going to go up because we got that hurricane has just been absolutely insane, right? And they cut off like all of the supply for oil. So probably oil prices in the short term are going to go up. And then we get into, let's see here, gold and silver. Gold and silver went higher off of that news. Not a ton, but, back into a pretty good spot for gold. And silver's doing okay too. Copper is doing really, really well. So maybe finally recovering from all the damage that the Chinese have been doing to it. I don't know. So, and then coming over looking at currencies, the dollar has been what got a lot weaker after that news, and a lot of it I think was from the euro. So kind of down in there. A lot weaker. Bitcoin, they looks like they've touched, well, that's interesting. I must need to roll some things over, but looks like they made another kind of attempt to push higher, but didn't get very far over the weekend in the Bitcoins. So let's come over here. So I think that the problem is probably that, voice meter banana probably died on us. Yeah, see if I shut it down, it's not disappearing. It means that it's hung. So let's fix this right here. Get that there. Get that there. Bump it up just a tad. There we go. That's a little bit better, yeah? Good morning, Win. I guess today's conversation will be about tapering Powell's speech. Oh, can you not hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. I am kidding. Oh my gosh. I was catching some of my early morning day traders who start before you do, and they use hashtags. One small trader I had never heard had a bunch of hashtags and 200 people watching. Speaking of viewers watching, there was a storm chaser in New Orleans yesterday that had somewhere between 9K and 12K watching. Wow, yeah. Well, we talk about that a little bit. First, let's fix our sound. Okay, cool. I get that. Next thing we need to do is turn on the text-to-speech bit. Man, I tried really hard to sleep on my back and everything and keep my back all straight, but I think it just twisted it more. So that sucks. All right, here we go. We got that on. Yeah, my nose is like really runny this morning for no reason. And it is hot in here again. I'm gonna get all smelly right away. Yes. Well, it says that it's not hot in here. So I don't know. I'm feeling hot. I'm sweating here. You see it? So here's the thing. I was, in the shower this morning. I mean, here's the thing. It's been we've gotten through the summer, right? You can already see here in the Treasury there is more liquidity. They're at 35s right now. They were a little bit lower than that last week. And I suspect that next week it will be even more. Like, liquidity is coming back. Treasuries are pretty aimless, but liquidity seems like it's coming back. So, we've kind of been off in la la land because of the summer. Well, I think because of that, I kind of lost the plot. I forgot what we were doing. Because I was sitting here the other day thinking, well, okay, I've done some of the major videos that I really wanted to do. There's one that I've promised to do that I'm not as enthusiastic about anymore. But we should still do that to some extent. But I was like, what would be the best videos to do? What are the things that will help the channel the most? And then this morning I was reading this story. It was on the Wall Street Journal about the influencer space and how much the influencer space in financial services has taken off. And they were profiling some of the influencers that were making a lot. Like this top influencer that they were looking at had like over 1 million subscribers, and he was making millions a year just from the YouTube portion of it. I guess we are getting a Canadian current account here at the bottom of the arm. Anyways, and all of a sudden, it reminded me. Alpacas. No one else is doing this. Right. That is what I need to do. I need alpacas, and I need to go on vacation to large surf districts. I was watching this documentary on HBO about big wave surfing, and I would really like to go to some of those places someday. I wouldn't touch the water, but I want to see that. I want to see waves that big. Anyways, no. Then like it hit me. I was like, oh, that's right. Millennials are pissing their money into the wind, and it's about to blow back in their faces, and we need to be here to save as many people as we can from this nonsense. There's so much BS being sold out there by influencers that just really don't know a thing about trading. People who are basically pumping and dumping stocks to their audiences. And I am not going to go in and start like feud wars with individual people. But what I think we should do is we should attack the ideas that they are working from, right? I think that we need to go in and show people why some of these ideas are not good. To show people why when you just buy a stock that some influencer shared to you, you're basically just going to get caught in a pump and dump, And, one of the videos that I did really well, I think a big part of it was because a big influencer at the time, that was a video about trading computers. Another influencer had a video about that came out after mine, and that really boosted my video, right? My nose is really dry for some reason, and that's why I'm having all these issues with my nose. So let me go find that article. See, I couldn't read it when it was on the Wall Street Journal. Sell the dream. Here it is right here. Try blowing my... Let's see if I use the Wall Street Journal. The social media stars who move stocks. Well, it won't let me read the full story. Maybe if I open up a new private window and search for it and click on it from Google, does that do it? No. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, to use the Wayback Machine? That's an interesting idea. Oh, it's a video it's an article that's been out for a number of... Shoot. But they see the paywall too. So that didn't work. Good morning, Uzi. Our weather's good. I'm sleepy. Weekend was productive. Good. There we go. So what I'm interested in... The Treasury's moving up a little bit again. $5 million in the first 3 months of this year. Wow, what? Showing his YouTube revenue payments. That's insane. Many of these influencers have no formal training as financial advisors and no background in professional investing, leading them to pick stocks based on the whims of popular opinion or to dispense money-losing advice. Okay, so this was Meet Kevin. Never heard of this guy before. Is that weird that I've never heard of this guy before? Yeah, he has a pretty big following. My first live debate for governor. He's running for governor. Stocks moving today. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm looking for either a strategy claim or keywords. I'm surprised he's talking about Afghanistan. That's dangerous to your YouTube channel. I don't know if this will be as useful because it doesn't look like he's benefiting from keywords. It doesn't look like he's benefiting from keywords, is he? It looks like he is benefiting from, this changes everything. Yeah. See, nobody's getting that from the keywords. They're getting that from the YouTube front page. I just got banned. That's another way to get people's attention. Talking about Kathy Woods and Michael Wilbury. Or Michael, what's his name? Michael Burry. Crypto is falling. Oh no. That was 2 weeks ago? Oh geez. Really? Okay. I don't know. Every once in a while, I'll say something. I'll try and make a big call, like not a big call, but big attention grabbing headline like that. And then, it ends up being nothing. $1 million challenge. Well, that's not too helpful. Social Blade, maybe. Oh, what is his channel actually? Oh, okay, there's a space in it. I was so surprised that his name is just me. It's a B+ channel, really. It says that he's making 2K to 40K a month. Yeah, it's got to be like 10 times that. Social Blade doesn't pick it in very well. Okay, but what I want to see is what was his viewers before? Not views, subscribers. So he was about where we were actually in February, and then he looks like he took off in March. So we got to go like way back in his history, huh? Which would be what, 5 months ago? Yeah, we got some scrolling to do here, folks. We'll bring this down so we can make sure we keep an eye on the treasury there. There's a little bit, they are coming back a little bit. Okay. Okay. Wow, he posts a lot of content for starters. Okay, so here's GameStop. Stimulus check update. Yeah, they would. I'm surprised I haven't seen a video that's over 1 million views here yet. The stimulus check thing seems to be gathering the most attention. Doesn't look like you can really attach it to like a specific video, can you? You could reach out and ask him for an interview. I don't know if I'm really interested in interviewing him, to be honest. Like, here's the thing is like, it's really interesting. When we started this, we said, like there's a way bigger audience for investing content on YouTube than what there is now, and eventually it's going to take off. And GameStop was the catalyst, right? So at that point, there was a bunch of kids that really took off. And we got a bump in our channel, but we didn't really take off. And why not? Well, because like we were in on the GameStop thing, but then, as soon as that first peak was done, we were done and we were out, because the best trade is the first trade. First trade is the best trade, and it works. And at that time, we were getting so many people in our chat, like it was too much. So I stopped talking about the GameStop thing and let things die back down back to like normal levels. Because, what we do is super, super niche. We're doing like trading at its most pure level. And, this and that. So it's not surprising to me that there was a bunch of people that went off and like took off, because these were people that were talking about individual stocks and that sort of thing, right? Yeah, when we had like over 1,000 viewers at one point, I think. Yeah, it was insane, but it was very short lived. The channel did not get lasting traffic from it for some reason. Even when I went and I created, so like a great example is like we had that video on GameStop, right? Actually, somebody commented on it, so I guess it's getting some traffic. But like if I just come over to my overviews, like it's not even top 10. Maybe I need a better thumbnail and stuff for it, huh? You see, they were selling into that 11.5 a little bit, but it fizzled out, and now they're just sitting there at 12. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take any trades today. It kind of still looks like they're just kind of drifting. They're just kind of driftless for now. I may regret saying that, because we might get a monster move come out of nowhere, but for now, seems like, yeah. Okay, so if I go to uploads, here it is. So here's my GameStop video. Debunking GameStop myths. That one didn't do it. That one didn't do it. And the look at that. After about the first minute or so, like most of them give up. So that video just did not do very well. Even if I got a better thumbnail on it, I don't think that would save this video. Right. It just didn't get that. Now, how much of the search was it getting? Okay, well, we are getting some. We're getting some from GameStop, but I could change it to be like, what they're not telling you about GameStop. Something like that. Anyways. There's something that makes people want the celebrity channel. Establishing celebrity is an uphill battle. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's the thing. So if we come back over to here, no, the zero hedge story. Your thumbnails are clever and cool. I think you could be a bit more creative with the titles. Yeah. Okay. So in here, they talk about like, I have run into this cam guy on TikTok. He says stupid shit. To be honest, this guy's channel, it's like you go and you look at this channel, it's like, how is that so popular? What? Okay, the journal lays buying to be an influencer yourself. The journal lays out 3 tips that can make stock influencers successful. The first is to be relatable. Okay, yeah, you have to be relatable, which basically means you have to be young. It's if you turn on CNBC, all these older white guys, and it's hard to relate to them because I don't look like them. A lot of my followers don't look like them. Being a woman, trust me more, because they'd rather learn from someone like me than from a finance bro. The second tip: sell the dream. A lot of this world is a real snake pit, and it's real scary. The human brain doesn't come to full maturation until age 25. Anyone under that age is highly influenceable. We know that day trading does not produce long-term wealth for the vast majority of people who do it, but these influencers are preying on that part of the human brain that has fewer inhibitions, that thinks I will be the exception, and that leads to speculation and other kinds of high-risk behavior. And finally, third and final tip, there is just no room for being bearish. Scott Galloway, a marketing professor at NYU, points out why this strategy is so effective. For their entire adult life, the market has gone up. If you say otherwise, you just don't get it. There is a surrender to the narrative or else attitude online, and it's really frightening, because if you say Bitcoin is overvalued or Tesla is overvalued or whatever popular SPAC is overvalued, these trolls and anonymous accounts come out of the woodwork and they start attacking you. And of course, there's a pesky truth that many of these influencers have no formal training as financial advisors and no background in professional investing, leading them to pick stocks based on the whims of popular opinion or to dispense money-losing advice. This is why I follow no gurus. It's just, yeah. So like, that's the whole thing. Social trading is for the weak. There you go. So you see the conundrum, though, right? The reason that some of these channels have become so successful is because they're basically selling something unrealistic. Another tick up there at 12. So how do we... What we're trying to accomplish something, right? We're trying to provide value to people, and the value that we're trying to provide to them is to teach them how trading really works and the problems with the overarching idea that these people have in their head. Because the main thing these people have in their heads is, if I follow this stock guru, I will be a better investor, right? And the problem is that what they're teaching them is not really good information. This whole meme stock and influencer trading house of cards will fall apart when the market reconnects with reality. A monkey could sell gains in this market. Yes. So, if that's what I'm supposed to be doing, how do I... Hey, Kulud. How do I craft videos that will really actually catch attention? Because I think that the big problem is I'm telling people something that they don't really want to hear, you know? How do I get their attention? Because I'm thinking that the next video I should make should be why YouTube is terrible for investing advice. You know? I was hoping that I was going to see a video here that was going to be like, here's this great moving average strategy that you should, but his channel's not really like that. His channel is not really taking advantage of search, really. Let's see what his most popular videos are. How to buy your first rental property. Oh, he was doing stuff interesting. He's only 19. For fucking real. You'd have to lie to people. Yeah. The thing is when I think about doing these sorts of things, right? It's not like I think that this is going to make my channel like huge success or something new, right? I don't know. Like, the thing is that in our space, in our niche, futures trading, we've dominated our niche. Well, not we've dominated our niche. I mean, it's impossible to dominate our niche, but we've reached saturation on our niche. To really get more views, we have to expand, right? So I think I did a good job with that. Did you guys watch the GameStop video? Because I thought I did a good job with that video. I thought that I had a lot of really good information that would really help people. That was not what they were hearing, but that it just didn't work, you know? It just didn't really actually help very many people because only like 300 people saw it, which is for what I do on YouTube, pretty pathetic, right? Over that long of a time period. Retail traders don't want market microstructure theory or understanding. They want Lambos. You have to sell that. If not, you'll always be a small but informative channel. Maybe. Do I have to come in and sell the Lambos? Like, that's the crazy thing. Is like with what we're doing, you're not going to get Lambos. Probably not. Right? Market making is a humble job, but somebody has to do it. Interestingly, though, his most popular videos are from before the GameStop time and are kind of more about housing and stuff like that. It's actually really common for them to start in housing and then scale over. It's not just, I think you might get paid for teaching, counseling, and training. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is I don't need to be... What are we trying to accomplish? We got to come back and we got to put our goals here, right? I want to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. And I want to make videos that provide information that will save these people money when things get crazy. Yeah. So to do that, the first thing is we've got to make videos with the information that's going to help them. And then the next thing is we've got to make those videos actually reach them. We've got to figure out the right titles and thumbnails and engagement stuff so that the videos reach a wide enough audience that people can actually benefit from it. Redirecting your content to making algorithms, that might be different. Well, I don't know. The issue that I keep coming down into on that is that it seems to me that are really effective algorithms. I mean, well, we need to start running our robots again, don't we? I should do that right now. But a lot of really effective algorithms are going to involve information from outside of the market and are going to run on higher time frames, I think. Might involve data that I don't have. Put on your best eye in criticism. Well, what I was thinking was like, I shouldn't be going after an individual creator, but what I can do is I can look at their videos that they've done most recently. Date added newest. And then say, okay, I want to show up as a recommended video for this. I want to be as a recommended video for this. And then I go, but when I go in and I look at this, it's like, which one am I gonna, because he doesn't really do it that way, does he? He doesn't really do it that way. Interesting is his setup too. It doesn't really go that far back out. That's interesting. I like my setup better than his. That's funny. I keep running into those sorts of things though. He is huge. Yeah, I was kind of trying to figure out how he got so huge. Like, the thing is that he was not well, okay, but back down in here. Okay, like at the beginning of last year, he was about where we are right now. Around 5. Oh no, was that gained subscribers? No, we need like total subscribers. Where do you see that? I hate it when it does that. Oh, he was way big before that. He was way bigger before that. Total subscribers, that's what I'm looking for. So he was already to 100,000 subscribers way before that. Do you long-term invest? Yeah, I have a small portfolio that I manage, but I haven't done a whole lot with it. I'm still I have a little bit of cash that it was like, at the beginning I would have been like all in on it, and yeah, since then the stocks that I really thought I would have gotten into kind of already went off, and so I'm just kind of biding my time and waiting for opportunity where I can pick up something for cheap. But I don't know if it'll ever happen. So the one that I'm in right now, it's been okay. But one thing I will tell you is that the stock market has not been very broad. Like the rise in the past, 3 months or so, it has been rising on basically just on the big cap techs. So anyways, like honestly, if you want to maximize the amount of money that you're going to make, just put your money into an S&P 500 index and use those tax deferred accounts and stuff. Or rather, tax exempt accounts. What the hell? So this is something that bothers me. You can't go on YouTube and recommend stocks and then say not a financial advisor, not a financial advice. Like it doesn't. I'm sorry. I don't think that just saying I'm not a financial advisor absolves you of any kind of responsibility if somebody does something stupid. This channel is a little bit more realistic. Okay. He has really big text. Like these are actually terrible thumbnails. What the heck? Oh, he's not buying stocks right now. But see, look, he is pushing individual stocks. Oh, I don't think I've ever come across this person. Non-judgmental investing community. Okay. I've already looked at his before. And then this comes back into the like the tips. Vlad says doesn't work. What do you mean? Well, oh, that's just there. Okay, well, I'll move this back over here. Maybe I'll read it in more detail later. No, I don't know. I was hoping that I was going to stumble upon some keywords or some things that would like directly like, would give me a direct, hey, this is what we should put in our video title and things like that, right? Low floats. It really is crazy, right, Vlog? Here's the thing that's kind of funny is that on TikTok, maybe I'm wrong, because I made a couple of videos that were kind of like more philosophical, like, okay, this is why you can't just follow people and that sort of a thing. And you know what? Like those didn't really do all that well. But when I came in and I just shared people really basic order flow stuff, and I mean really basic. I mean, it's not quite the sort of no BS stuff. It was like even more basic than that. And those videos, 3 of those got 14,000 views. Right? So when I'm teaching them strategy information, people really do gravitate and watch that. Although I kind of feel like I've reached the limits. Like I don't want to share the more advanced information on TikTok, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? I think I will make a video that says why YouTube is terrible for investing advice. And then I have a video that I want to make, which is like, is day trading actually for you? That's another one that I think need to make, because I was seeing a lot of people with that kind of question floating around. I don't know. I guess I think about it too much. I need to, I probably should make some order flow videos like just here on the channel. I think that would probably help a lot of people. But probably in the end, probably the most important thing that I can do is just get really good at trading these micro treasuries, right? I destroyed my Lambo because I'm bored. I destroyed my Lambo because I'm bored. It's funny. No. It comes back to this conundrum. Like, especially, I mean, it's the same conundrum with trading as it is for YouTube. There's an infinite number of ways you could trade. There's an infinite number of videos that I could make on my YouTube channel, and which ones I decide to go for first is like a really big open question. And often I don't really know a whole lot, don't have a whole lot of information to go off of about which way would actually be the better one to pursue, right? But perhaps we just need to wait it out, and the specific thing it is that we need to make a video on will reveal itself. That's usually how it works, right? And I guess one thing that I did kind of know while I was going through there, looking through those, is that a lot of those YouTube channels had built up a pretty big following in a much broader category before they picked up becoming the stock influencers, right? Make a video of it. Oh, by the way, we did the interview with Gary Norden. I was going to put it out today, but Gary asked me to put it out the day that their website is going live, because that'll be the best for, you know, the people that are administrating the website and everything. So that video will be out Wednesday morning, and then we can talk about that. Testing how good. So one of the guys that messages me a lot was for some reason super interested in like tick strike and those sorts of things, and he was looking for all these different versions of this stuff, and I was just like, I'm not really convinced that those kinds of tools really do all that much for you, but Another thing that we can do is we can try and build more off of the places where we've had success, right? Like we can go back and find the videos that have had the most success and make videos on content related to that. One of the problems is that it's like the big one is the video hardware video. I don't know. Hardware is like super expensive right now, so. If you can see green on times and cells, it's about the same. Yeah, well, and again, like, I think that the real fallacy is I'm seeing green. That means it's informed trading. It's going to continue going up. I mean, when it goes up, you'll see that, and it really sticks out in your mind because you miss it. But it's not necessarily a profitable signal, you know? You really need a reason to think that the money is going to come in. Here on Monday, the S&P 500 is probably going to, I think that today what's probably going to happen is they're going to have another drift up day that like makes no sense, right? Probably another drift up day that makes no sense because there's like so much more economic news later in the week, right? Tomorrow we got Chicago PMI. The day after that we've got like ISM PMIs. Then Thursday we've got all of these jobs numbers, and then Friday we got non-farms. And non-farms is like a huge deal this time. I mean, really, really, really big deal, because if that comes in there, so the median estimate right now is 750K. You know, if it comes in around there, like that taper is coming, right? And then market might get a lot more difficult from there. You know, you said earlier also about like algorithmic stuff. I made those like really detailed videos about algorithmic stuff so that we could make more lighthearted videos about it. So I don't know. Well, there was a little bit more of a drop. Interesting. And it didn't really... Wait, where's my... There it is. Didn't really match with anything either. News Squawk quotes Credit Agricole. Our corporate flow model is pointing to Euro USD selling at the end of the month. CPY, I don't think tapering is going to do much for investors, though. If that is the only hurdle for the market, I think my instruments are pretty safe. Well, I don't know. like, here's the thing is I don't know if the taper is necessarily going to cause like a bear market or anything like that. I only know that we're going to be in a very different market regime, especially for us over here in the treasuries, right? You got to remember that these are actual real orders that come into the market and move the market at some point, right? The Federal Reserve is going into the open market and openly buying treasuries. Okay. So, that's not something you can ignore, and them tapering their asset purchases is going to have a real impact on markets. And when the balance sheet is contracting, stocks have a much more difficult time. Honestly, though, if there's going to be, like bearishness in the market, really what it comes down to is more that we've been seeing a lot of money coming into the market, particularly from these millennials as they try and play the market. And that's why the market is moving, because orders move markets, right? And that probably continues until something bursts that bubble, which means that either the millennials can't put the money in or something scares them and they start taking their money out, right? So could the taper be such a catalyst? It's possible. I'm not so sure that it would be a strong enough one, but we need to just remember that because of the way that this went up, the market is very much a house of cards, right? If we're looking at 2014 and 2018, I don't think I should reduce my equity position significantly based on that. No, but those were very different situations, right? Like especially 2014. So like back then, I remember people saying that Apple and Google still looked cheap back in 2014. Oh man. Well, wasn't it 2015 when we had a relatively significant drawdown? I think, yeah. And then they kind of turned the QE back on. Right. It's a little bit different of a situation because there was not nearly as significant of a bubble. Some say J Powell can taper but can't raise interest rates. No, didn't he cover that once? I was trying to find it. I was trying to find when he talked about that, and I couldn't find it. I remember in one of the Fed press conferences. In one of the Fed press conferences, one of the journalists asked him, does the Federal Reserve have to keep interest rates low for the federal government because they're taking on so much debt? And he basically said no, like we don't think about that at all. As my recollection. That's my recollection. That might be dead wrong. Well, it's not just my recollection. That's what we would expect him to say, right? Their mandate is maximum employment and price stability, and keeping interest rates low for Congress is not one of them. If the unemployment is nearing 2 to 3%, there's really no reason for the Feds. Oh yeah, there's almost no question that they're gonna taper before the end of the year. Almost no question, which is the like that's kind of like one of the big warning signs I think here is that the market is not listening. The Federal Reserve is coming out and being as clear as they possibly can be on this. And yet you still have these hordes of retail traders out there saying, the Federal Reserve is never going to taper. Interest rates are never going to rise. And I'm seeing people, like there are people in Discord that are just outright buying the treasuries right now, saying that's going to decrease further, which just sounds so ridiculous to me. so ridiculous to me. Another thing is that a taper announcement could be a positive for the market, right? It's like the economy is really strong, and there's a lot of reason to think that the asset purchases are doing more harm than good right now. Like they're distorting the housing market, no question. Like we had that 3 tick down move that was really quick, but it's kind of meandering. It still kind of looks like a trap almost. Oil's probably a good place to be right now, huh? I don't know. I just don't see anything today, NASDAQ, that really gives me a strong reason to believe that the markets are going to move it either way. Probably they're going to, just because there's people out here looking for opportunity, but and thinking back on that, like, we should make a video about why YouTube is bad for investing, and I kind of almost was like talking myself out of it. And I'm thinking back on that now. I'm like, why am I doing that? Who cares? It needs to be said. It needs to be said. I want to make a video about it. And I feel the fire to make a video about that. Things don't always go up. There's a lot of people that are doing well because they always buy, and you can get away with really frivolous, ill-fated decisions and still make money in this kind of an environment. But in a regular environment, even though stocks might be going up overall, you go and you chase these memes and stuff like that, and you just get caught holding bags over and over again. I don't mean today. I mean in general, the people who don't pay attention to the taper signs. Would you call that dumb flow? Well, so if we're talking about like uninformed trading and like uninformed flow, that flow is more like it's going to come regardless of what people think about the taper, right? That money is going to come in because of different reasons, like they're earning more, and so they can afford to contribute more to their 401k. That sort of a thing. Either way, though, like we can look at, there might be flow that might contradict what we know about the taper. Then that doesn't necessarily mean that they know something about the taper that we don't, right? It could mean that, but I have no reason to think that at the time, and all we can work off of is what we know. I just want to know up or down. No, I don't. From a scalping perspective, I don't see a reason to take on risk at the moment. I just don't. If I was like absolutely forced to make a trade, then I'd probably just go long the E-mini. But like it's so quiet that you kind of gotta wonder about even that one. you're an investor in the U.S. equity market, there's a little reason to short the market anytime in history for people who just average. Well, listen, from scalping, there are definitely days where I can come in and I know that it's going to go down. And you can just sell it early and just sit back and relax and watch the chaos. You can just go and buy the index fund and just chill in that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just, that wouldn't be any fun, would it? It's much more fun to try and understand the markets and how they work. You know, that was another thing I was thinking about over the weekend was like, you know, I've picked up a couple of good pieces of information. There's still some more stuff about the yield curve that I need to understand, the math, because there's been more recent discoveries in pricing of treasuries that I don't know anything about yet, that I need to learn. But the problem is that the books on that are like super complicated and deep, and so I really need times when I can just sit down and focus on it and study, and I don't really have a whole lot of time like that right now with the baby. Requires that toddler, he's basically a toddler now, requires so much freaking attention, it's ridiculous. But I probably am to the point where I could probably think a bit more about psychology aspects. On Friday, I was feeling a little afterwards. Like, it did okay on Friday. I didn't get the move that I wanted, but it wasn't like a disaster, and I cut my losses and it was fine. But afterwards, I felt like anxiety for sure. Like that lingering feeling that you did something wrong, or that something wrong is about to happen, you know? Should get a dog instead of a baby. I'm still waiting for that one for my. Well, I have a dog that's super old, and it's gonna die any day now, I'm sure. He can't. He's having trouble going up and downstairs now. The roofers are singing. Oh yeah, because you didn't really get hit by that storm much at all. We haven't talked about that at all, but man, did you guys look at any of the videos and stuff about the hurricane, man? That's a real true monster. I don't think that we've woken up to how much devastation there actually is yet. We'll know by the end of today, though, probably. I'll put him down for you now. That was an absolutely perfect looking storm on radar. Well, they said that it was even worse than Katrina, right? Like the wind was blowing harder than Katrina. You're long from 09. Oh, from 09 even? Not bad at all. Wait, how did you get 09? You haven't been here for that long, have you? Yeah, maybe he could have. I'm a little concerned, though, seeing it rise here just before the open. That's not necessarily what I want to see. Right. Wasn't getting done because of storm. Yeah, I was just saying you didn't get hit at all. So you've been enjoying your time outside and doing work. You got some tropical air residual, which made working outside a little more bearable. Comes with a slight ocean breeze. Oh, really? You know, last week we had a pretty good storm here in Utah, and it got a lot cooler for like 1 or 2 days, but it's back up into the 80s now. That's way better than it was like 105, you know. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Does Win Mom trade? She talks about it, but I don't think that she has actually ever gotten into doing it. Oh, I didn't see anything about that. That one of the Marines in Afghanistan was from Salt Lake City? Did not know. One minute left till the open here, huh? For Asa, it probably doesn't matter because he just can let this ride or get out. Yeah, I did see half-mast flags everywhere. I went to the gym on Saturday, so I did get to see what was going on in the valley for once. I hadn't been down there for months. Oh man, don't remind me about the Afghanistan thing. I keep seeing these headlines that were like, so like for instance, one of the things was that the Taliban made an offer that, you know, the Americans would keep control of Kabul or something like that, and the Biden administration ignored it. Was like, oh my god, like how these guys just really wanted Afghanistan to turn into a disaster or something, didn't they? Sure feels like, hey Jay, how are you doing? Yeah. What do you think about Bitcoin? Well, so it's not as overvalued as it was. Like when they came back off that last time, that really improved the metrics. Still kind of looks overvalued, but when I look at everything, this is not moving off of natural forces. Like it's definitely like money coming in from stable coins, and it's kind of random, and I find it really interesting. You know, because before it was like they pump, but then all of a sudden you get this time period where like the prints just completely disappear for a little while. You know, I'm not so sure that that's a game that you can win unless you're long from much further back, right? So I haven't been paying too much attention to it. I do suspect that you could get a good rise in certain altcoins. One of the things that I saw was that people are finally starting to hear the music on what was it called? Safe Moon? Safe Moon? Okay, so we got a little sweep short there. So I'm wondering if people come out of Safe Moon, if some of that risk demand moves into other things now. Unfortunately, the other things that it moves into will probably be brand new cryptocurrency projects that are being made right now, but who knows? The only one I own is the garlic coin, which has been doing pretty okay, actually. You know, I should come and look at that. So I'm just noting, by the way, the E-mini had a pretty good start on the open, but somebody came and smacked it down, and they like really backed off when that happened. And meanwhile, over here in the treasuries, I'm seeing them starting to potentially search lower. Coin market cap is being slow for me. Oh, maybe I just needed to click on it better. Interesting, the 5 and the 10 really moved down. The 30 is lagging. The 30 is really lagging. Oh, why won't it show me my watch list? Boo. We'll go to garlic watch. 6.7. It's not bad. One of the exchanges is actually 7.1. That's cents. I wish it would show me a higher level chart, but that's okay. Oh, that was the 20th. Yep, okay. So this actually is a pretty low level chart, actually. It looks like somebody took some profits on, what date is that? 27th. Okay, so on Friday, there was some profit taking of some sort, probably. But it maintained the price. Okay, so there's the treasuries coming back there a little bit. As the S&P 500 turns down. Interesting. So I don't know why we had that there was still this one point where they kind of dropped a few ticks based off of nothing, and I'm still not sure what was causing that because it was on its own. But since then, the E-mini has turned out to be the most dominant factor. It looks like you guys already kind of got a little bit and are flipping back around, huh? I'm sure I'm tempted to just try and go short right there, but I don't know. This data has more brain processing power than me. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that. They seem unlikely to hit there at 332. I don't think that's going to get a fill, but let's see. Even he's fighting back there. If I really wanted to go short, maybe now would be an okay spot to do it. Or don't be too mean to him. I feel like he's been getting better. It's not the brain power, it's the approach, it's the system. Hmm. Out on that one? That sure didn't look like it's turning back up again, huh? In fact, that candle is going to look really strong on a 5-minute chart. So I'm a little concerned about the treasury coming up to 13 here. Man, I am like, I hate how much I've been sweating lately in the mornings. We need to do something about that. I don't know what to do about it, though. Keep my arms open. That'll help. like it looks like they're I mean, he's probably gonna move up still, but it looks way more balanced than it normally does, doesn't it? There's a thing people invented called AC, but it says that it's not hot in this room. The AC's not turning on. I'm sweating for other reasons, apparently. Well, no, that was 302. That still wouldn't be a fill. Well, I said like that last bar was going to look really strong on a 5-minute chart. It sure does. It looks sure strong on a 5-minute chart. But look, now this next bar might even engulf it. You know, looks like, yeah, it's a lower. Interestingly enough, the treasury ticked down there though. Okay. It looks like, again, it's over here in the 5-year where. But notice that the 5-year hasn't been as responsive in the interest rate. Steelcase versus Herman Miller, who has better chairs? Well, so here's the thing: is I think that the Herman Miller is a little overhyped. At least the Herman Miller that everybody talks about or wants to get with the cloth base and everything. Like, there's some issues with those kinds of chairs. Like, they don't last as long. Like, and in fact, I think that Herman Miller themselves, on their more recent chairs, they really changed that. Now, I don't know how those new chairs are. I've never sat in one of those new ones that they've made, but I would like to try. They look super interesting. Probably I should do I would like to do a video about chairs, but I don't know how I'd go about doing it, getting enough of them. You can get those Herman Millers online though. So if I was looking for a chair, I would be searching for Herman Millers on like, what is the website that you guys all have? Craigslist. I'd be looking on Craigslist. In Utah, you don't use Craigslist, you use KSL. Although Craigslist is still used, but pretty much all the same stuff. They put them on both. There is gym and daily exercise for that, Ace. Yeah. You know what? I definitely need to walk around more. Oh, what I got filled? Okay, yeah, there would have been a fill right there. But see, look at them popping up there. So the thing is last time we were at 30 in the interest rate, they dipped like quite a bit below that. And then they came back up. $500. And I think you could probably get a Herman Miller chair for even. You want to go and try and search? There's almost always one out there. Hundreds pay respect to fallen Utah Marine in Capitol Vigil. Herman Miller. See, like it. People search for it so often that it automatically fills it in. I'm a flat salt slob with a Big Mac. See, there it is. Oh, okay, I guess 500. There's 500. I bet you could probably find one cheaper than that if you were lucky. There's one that's not the super nice one, but they're asking $340. It's about as good as it gets on there. You the shape you deserve. Listen, you're a day trader. You're probably not going to have the greatest physique. You could be okay. I'm okay. I definitely got the love handles on the down. Although it's gotten a lot better in the past week, so that's good. That's really good. Let's look at a little bit over here. If we can keep at it this week, I think I'll be pretty happy. I went down to the gym on Saturday. I took the baby, which was a disaster, by the way. So some people were taking some important lifts, and the baby decides to throw a complete fit for no reason. I'm a day trader. I have the greatest physique. Do you have like 6-pack abs and chiseled chest and everything? I'm pretty sure you have a runner's physique. Although I haven't seen. Hey, Ace's excuse for not coming and visiting me has been the pandemic, and I haven't been vaccinated. But now that the Israeli study suggests that people who have recovered from COVID have, 15 times greater protection, having, less chance of getting an infection again. Maybe perhaps he can come down now. Maybe we can convince him to come. We could make a video. What would we, if we made a video? We could make a video. We could make a fake guru video. We could make fun of everybody in a video. That's the video we need to make, man. The greatest lie in day trading. That's the video we need to make, man. But I don't know if I think that he kind of believes the lie to an extent, though. I don't know. The way to make money isn't from following other people. The greatest lie is just do what I tell you to do and you make money. I want to send you my stats, but I don't really understand QTrader stats. No, do it on the Discord. Don't you have a Discord, NASDAQ Trader? I think Discord is the best place to do stuff. You send me on Discord. That's where people tend to message me the most, and I like to keep it all in one spot. You just go into Discord, find my name, and message it to me. I banned you on Discord? What were you doing on Discord that I banned you for? Okay, hold on. I'll unban you. Just behave. Behave. Wait, what would your username be? It would be Salim Withering. Right? Okay, Salim. I'll unban you on Discord so you can message me. You banned my number. You should still be able to message me, though. If you can find my, well, actually, I think I can tell you. Let's see here. What is it? Oh, wait, what did I just copy there? Oh, yeah, I did. You can, you don't even need to be on Discord. You just need to do that. You can message me. You don't even have to add me as a friend. You can just message me on Discord and I'll see it. Oh, yeah, let's get rid of the Herman Miller chair thing. Nothing at 30 yet, huh? Cool. Cool. Very cool. I've been thinking, I got that book and I've been thinking like I should make a more of a bookshelf. But make a bookshelf. Put it in that corner over there. Keep the books over there because the baby has been like trashing the books over here. Excuse me. You know what's something that's really funny to me is that when I'm trying to be really frugal, I'll go through and I like to just browse eBay or I'll decide I would like X thing and go and do the research to find the best of X thing. And then, oh, that's weird. Hold on a second. Okay, well, there was a new high in ES, but the treasuries are acting really strange to it. Okay. Well, I'm still not sure if it makes sense for me to try and do something here. They kind of have been in favoring lower rates today. Sent me a friend's request. Okay, I'll let you add me. Sure. Oh, no, wait, pending. There we go. Ugh, I get so many dumb ones that... No, I don't actually see it. I don't think I actually see it. Oh, there it is. I gotcha. I gotcha. Now you should be able to send it to me. Cool. Let's see here. Yay. How'd they have a little emoji to wave at each other with? That's funny. I didn't know that was a thing. I was on a thought. Oh yeah. So like I'll sit down and I'll be like, okay, someday I would like to get X thing. Let's see everything we need to know about buying X thing and like what's a good deal on it and all that sort of thing. And I enjoy doing that. And then when I'm not looking to be frugal, when I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I should reward myself with something, and then I don't even know like what to even do, what to even try to get for something. It's so silly. Anytime I have a thought about something, I just go, yeah, but I don't really need that. I don't know if that would really make a difference. Okay. So I see what you got there. I don't know if that really tells us a whole lot. I'm gonna not show it on the screen because there is some information in here that I don't think you want everybody to see. So let's see here. Symbol, fill. So those fill ones to show you how many orders you filled. Probably like max and total number of orders. Average buy, average sell, your profit and loss. That's pretty good. $355. Currency USD. Profit and loss plus OTE-MVO in USD. I don't know what that means at all, but it's the same as what it was before. Hey, you got a pretty decently sized account, my friend. You could like do many other things like swing and so forth. But those aren't really. But what is that? Is that No, what that? Oh, is that CQG's trade app? Is it possible that the Treasury and ES are not related? I mean, since there is no evidence, I actually think that we do have some evidence. Shall we check? I will come in here and I will use the ES Let's use like a 5-minute chart. Are we at an all-time? Yes. Pretty sure that's an all-time high. Oh, there it is. I'm like, how come it didn't create a new chart? Okay. So here we got the S&P 500. 5-minute chart. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add both our correlation to ZN 1221. And we're also going to have to use the augmented Dickey-Fuller test. Where's that? Oh. I forget what the C stands for. Something augmented Dickey-Fuller test. And lag period. Well, we'll just leave it like that and we'll see what we get. Okay, so when we go into the correlations, it does look like that at least on the open net periods, there was some pretty significant negative correlation between the two of them. But when we're looking for co-integration, at the moment, there is not enough to reject the null hypothesis that they are not correlated. So I would say that even though I do think I'm seeing some correlation here in the E-mini, like between treasuries and E-mini, I mean, typically you would expect to see that, and we are kind of seeing a little bit of like it goes up, this kind of comes down, but overall the treasury looks pretty aimless. So QTrader, though, these are the orders. There's got to be like a stats in QTrader, right? Who's your broker? Oh, you're probably using AMP, huh? Yeah. No reason to think that one well, I don't know which one would be causing it. I wasn't saying that, didn't intend to say that the one was causing the other, only that there seemed to be some correlation. Now that time they're both going up. That time they're both going up. Look at that. Yeah, but there is reason to believe that they would be correlated because of the way that many strategies work and the way that the treasury works. As the economy does better, you should expect the interest rates to rise on the expectation that the Federal Reserve will increase interest rates in the future, right? So we have fundamental reasons to believe that there should be some correlation. And hence why I would want to keep track of it. But here, if the Treasury is coming up here to new highs, that's certainly not what you should necessarily expect to see if the E-mini was going really strong, right? So that could be the opposite, which is that the treasuries are up, interest rates are low. That helps the big cap techs, and then the equity indexes move up. Now, do we get anything in the... okay, so I do see the Japanese yen. So let me change this around for you, okay? That was a 5-minute chart. Actually, let's go back to a 1-minute chart just for kicks and giggles. Okay. So here you can see that the correlation between the two of these. Oh no, not between the ES. Wait, what happened? Oh, I changed it to 1 minute. Okay. 6J. So if I come over into 6J, like there are time periods where they are very co-integrated, and the correlation between the two of them stays pretty high, up to 80%. Now, over 80% is when it gets significant. So there's a very significant correlation between the Treasury and the Japanese yen. And at the moment, we're seeing the Japanese yen make a move up, and as a result, the Treasuries are taking off. Now, are we seeing the dollar get weak as a result as well? A little bit. A little bit. But the 6E is a little weak this morning too. So that's kind of balancing that out. Apple helping the market. You have convinced yourself with no. It's a theory. It's a theory. So here's my theory. My theory is that the strongest driver of Treasury movement right now is demand from Japan. Right? So when I'm coming over in here and I'm watching the Treasury move and I see orders come into the Treasury, my question is, why did those orders just come into the Treasury? Well, it appears at this exact moment that the reason those orders came into the Treasury is because the Japanese yen is making a move. They're very, very closely correlated. Very, very high degree of correlation. And we know that last month, when we had that big decline in interest rates, that there was a lot of buying from Japanese funds. So we kind of know in retrospect why that particular move happened. So we're coming in here and kind of keeping an eye on it. It seems like it's happening again. So we have a pretty good theory as to why that order flow would be coming out, and we can kind of use that to make decisions. So like right now, if that's the Japanese funds are doing their thing, I don't necessarily want to stand in front of that, do I? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we have no reason to think you are correct. Well, so let us state the idea that the Japanese yen, that money coming in from Japan is the main reason why the treasuries are moving right now. We will call that the null hypothesis, right? Right, that would be the null hypothesis. So then we would look for information that would refute the null hypothesis, right? So one thing that we could do is we could come in and we could look at the correlation, and the correlation would say, well, they're not even correlated at all, and that would be a pretty good way of refuting the null hypothesis, right? But when we look at the correlation between the two of them is very, very high at the moment. Of course, it's always very, very high with the Japanese yen, but it's particularly high right now. So that supports the null hypothesis. Great correlation, but that doesn't imply causation. Yes, but we do have a reason to think that it is causation, right? We have a reason to think that it is causation because that was what was the causation last month. And probably those funds aren't done. What would be even better is if we could generate a model about how much treasuries funds from Japan are likely to buy over the next month and see how they match up. Okay, there was a pretty decent amount trading there at 15.5. $28.8. Wow, that would have, if I had gone long on that, that would have been pretty ugly. Okay, but so here's the thought. How do you prove causation? So here in the markets, it's actually relatively easy to prove causation after the fact with the right information, right? So I can come in and I can see how far it moved, and I can see how many orders or purchases of treasuries came from Japan, because they have this report that shows each month how sovereign purchases changed and so forth. So last month, we know for sure that demand from Japanese funds was why the yields decreased so much. We know that, right? So I'm merely suggesting, wouldn't a great theory be that if we're moving up right now, that, and we're seeing that correlation very strongly again, pretty reasonable theory for why it's moving up is because there's still that buying coming from Japan, right? Is that not a strong enough theory to trade off of? Why didn't I just stay long from 09? No, you did what you were supposed to. It would have, were you really willing to take a, well, okay, 09, actually, you never had it come against you, did you? Still, it came back a solid 10 points. You traded off of your hypothesis. Let me know how it goes, I guess. Yeah. Well, so how do we trade off of that hypothesis? Because here's the thing. If it's Japanese funds, does that mean that this is informed trading flow? We don't have any reason to believe that this is informed trading flow at the moment, especially since there was the usual asset correlations across the board didn't match up with it. Only the yen was correlated. The E-mini, we should see negative correlation and things like that. They didn't happen. So that's what makes me think probably not informed trading in this move up in the treasury. I wish I knew more about CQG, Salim, because I don't. It seems like that you should. There should be something in there to show you that. This is where Journalytics is really great, though. If you want to pay for a service, Journalytics is a great service to pay for that shows you stats. And it's really good stats. And you can plug it in to your broker, I think. You got a huge short signal on ES, really? Well, that's interesting. I maybe have some idea of what you might be looking at that would give you a short signal. But from my perspective, that might not be a significant thing. We are seeing a little bit of a cumulative delta divergence. You gotta be really careful with delta divergences on the E-mini because of the way that they hedge in the E-mini, right? Okay, there's a pretty strong bid there at 15 and it's disappeared. I could show you a room full of signal, yeah. I can show you hundreds of signals that don't work. And really, though, I have to say, Ace, when I've been going through all of this newer information that I've been learning about, like the inelastic markets hypothesis, the thing that I keep coming back to is like, it doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't statistical aberrations that you could take advantage of in markets. It's just that you're not going to see them in price because the markets, the orders move the price so much more than people anticipate or expect. And how much it moves it is based largely on what the liquidity situation is at the time, which, right? So all of these things that when you start thinking about it from that perspective, right? It's like what would be a good example? It's like if I was in a pool and I was making waves, and I could make waves go in different directions. And if you sat on the edge of the pool and you measured the waves and you were trying to predict which direction I was pushing things, it would be really, really hard, right? Because the waves move the water so much, it doesn't actually tell you as much about what direction I'm pushing, right? So that would always bring us back to that if you're going to do that kind of an analysis, you want to do the analysis on the orders itself and not the result of the orders, which is price, right? So anything that we get that maybe gives us predictive signals that's based primarily on orders and volume instead of price, I think I'd be more interested in, right? Okay, so they tick back up and there's a pretty strong bid there again. Whoa, they pushed against that hard. Whoa. Wow, I haven't seen something like that in the treasury for months. Did you see that? So somebody stuck a strong bid at 15 half, and they were trying to squeeze it into 16, and somebody came along and decided to call their bluff and sell into 15 half all 4,000 contracts and move price down. And when that happened, everything got whiplashed real hard in the treasury complex. Well, look at that. Now 2 ticks down. And they took 3,000 on that one, but then at 14.5, the market makers were like, okay, and they just let it happen on that one. Whiplash, great title, yeah. I can zero in. How can you zero in on where the waves are coming from just looking at that one point, right? You could do that if you could see the whole pool. Unfortunately, we can't see the whole pool. Price is like one tiny little spot in that pool, right? Now, maybe if you had a bunch of different points, right? But that would be like having multiple correlated instruments, right? It's probably not a very good analogy. I don't know if it's a very good analogy. The better way to explain it is that markets are inelastic. So orders have an outsized effect on price, even if those orders are like completely random. Well, all of these moves here to the move down to the downside has been pretty brutal ticks as it's happened. Look at that. You know what, Salim? I'll try downloading CQG Trader later today, or updating. I think I have it installed, but I need to update it and see if I can find it for you, or figure out what would be the best way for you to look at your stats. Yeah, sorry, Q Trader. Is that different from their CQG thing? I'm going to take my profits here. Wait, did I get? Okay, yeah, I did. I did get the 10. Okay, cool. So even though I saw a really dramatic push down, okay, so there's a couple of things. One, the move that I saw was from the Japanese yen. If I come back and I expand this chart, you can see that the yen moved up and then it moved back down. And that move correlated almost perfectly with the treasury. So when I come back over to the flow, I'm realizing, okay, the reason it came back so hard was because of the correlation. So do I have any reason to believe that the Japanese yen is going to push down further? I don't actually. So, especially since today has been a slow day and I don't have a whole lot of like larger fundamental calls to make other than that, I would rather go long. I think that taking my profits there makes sense. And that was equal risk reward on that trade. So I think that I can just be happy with that trade today. So maybe I can come over here and look at that and do that while we're still on. Download. What is the difference between CQG integrated client and CQG Q Trader and CQG Trader? Oh, that is weird. Oh, they have a compare products. Okay, so QTrader, it looks like CQG integrated client is the nicer thing, huh? QTrader is basic, yeah. So what is the extra stuff that they include? Portfolio time and sales, order ticker, couple of extra things, order book analytics, I see. Additional study packages. Does these things really work? ATM trade? Well, that one might be, but like the mark indicators, is that really worth $500? And I don't think so. I could write that myself. Okay, so we want QTrader for sure. I just wanted to make sure I understood what the differences between these things were. But I was also looking for signs that I would be able to use it. It sounds like if I'm using CQG that the QTrader would be okay. I kind of panicked a little and gave up a tick. I probably could have put the limit order there at 30.01 and saved a commission. Oh, you know what? That's another good question. Hold on a second. This one right here. The 28th was Friday, right? Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Commission 59, NFA fee 02, routing fee, clearing fee, total commission. So it is $1. It is $1 per contract, basically. Sucks. Okay. Yeah, let's try installing this. $10 points coming up. Good job. You went long again, huh? It's almost like if you just go long, and that should be fine. It's almost like if you just go long, you're almost guaranteed to make money. That is a pretty good move up. I'm a little from 09. Let's say that we started from 09, 25 points up in the E-mini. That's pretty good. Surely though, some of that was from the treasury. But why am I saying that? I'm probably thinking to myself, well, I should have been long the S&P 500, but I don't really want to touch the S&P 500 with my live account right now, not unless there's something like really, really clear going on. So, but I took a pretty good trade there in the treasury. I'm happy with that. You know, the thing that makes me really happy about that was that it was a counter trend. I was basically calling, they came down there. I was like, no, that's not in line. I called BS and I was right. Yes, surely is the fact that as ice cream sales go up, drowning also increases. So of course one causes the other. What, that the S&P 500 going up causes people to more easily make money? Oh no, you're talking about the correlation still. I'm telling you though, like the correlation between the Japanese yen and the U.S. treasuries is very, very strong, and there's a reason for that, right? Because now that for a while China had a lot of bonds, right? But they've given up some of them, and now the largest bondholder in the world of U.S. debt is Japan, and that's why they're so closely correlated. So I know I know for a fact that the U.S. Treasury and the Japanese yen have a very strong historical correlation, and that it's largely because of the Japanese sovereign fund and Japanese pension funds and so forth coming over and buying treasuries. It's just a question of, like, for any individual move, is that's what's going on, right? But we could use context and other information to kind of make a guess about if that's the case or not. I think in that particular instance, we have a very strong reason to believe that that's what it was. But again, if they're buying, that's not informed trading. That's not informed trading. That is somebody that just has to buy, and they don't care what prices. They're buying a certain amount today, right? That's why I was okay with fading it. And it worked, so might not always work. Tomorrow probably we'll try and do a similar thing, and it'll just blow up in our face. What came first, the hen or the egg? Well, that's the thing. So like, if we were sitting here and all of a sudden I saw a really strong correlation between the treasuries moving up and gold moving down at the same time. In other words, yields were getting weaker, but that wasn't helping the gold, because gold and treasuries tend to have a really strong correlation as well. Or let's say that we could just go back to the Japanese yen. If the Japanese yen moved up and the U.S. treasuries moved down, for instance, right? That would be really weird. That would be a completely different, like, I would have no clue why that's happening. Based on what news that we have and information that we have right now, I'd have no clue why it's happening. I would only be able to see the correlation, and I wouldn't be able to tell if it was the yen or the treasuries that was actually making the move happen. I might be able to see the orders coming into the treasury, but since I can't see the treasury market, that would be kind of hard, so I wouldn't have that information. Yeah. It's not an invalidated assumption. It's not invalidated, right? Like yeah, correct. I shouldn't have used that word. Yeah. It's a theory. It's a theory. It's a theory with a decent amount of backing evidence behind it, right? Probably almost everything that we look at in markets, generally speaking, we kind of have to say is a theory. But for instance, I would, but so here's an odd question for you then. So why it feels to me like you're more weary about my theory about that the Japanese yen is the most critical component of treasury movement at the moment. And there's that correlation, and the reason behind that correlation. You seem to be way more skeptical about that than you are about, for instance, that if we cross a certain line or we get a certain amount of momentum going in the S&P 500, that it's going to continue on going up. Why? Well, you just like to argue it for sure, but I get the impression that you're way more skeptical about that thing than than the things that you use. I have no idea either way. Or rather, to the point, why would you be more willing to trade off of that than that? Why would you be more willing to trade off of one thesis versus the other thesis? We still have 30 minutes left. It's been a long day. You know what else I'm really proud of about that trade, by the way, was that it was really slow for a long time. And I sat on my hands and I didn't do anything. Because I find no correlation with the Japanese yen. How do you not? Okay. Oops. I'll be right back. Okay. Looking for actionable information is accurate down to a few points, not some 30,000 foot view from some port in. Well, okay, but that's not what I think that this is. I'm proud that I sat my hand and did nothing. Is that a way to tell Ace to stop trading when he's... Well, I can't. I mean, I don't think that I couldn't really say that sort of a thing to Ace, because it seems to work out a lot for him. Don't you think? But that's a problem that I very much have, or have had. So to have taken one, there was really only one or two. I mean, I suppose if you could have seen this move up, but I don't think that I could have. Let me change this so that they're both using the same kind of candlesticks. Hold on a second. And then I think that I do for candle body outline, I do transparent. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Okay, so do you see them on top of each other now? You don't, that doesn't look correlated to you? It doesn't look correlated to you? Do you think that information is actionable? Yes, I traded off of it. I took a trade off of it. here's how I took a trade off of it. I saw this move up. It's a pretty strong move up. We moved to new highs in the treasuries. Things were getting all crazy. There was a bunch of volume up here. So the first thing is I saw the volume up here. So I saw that there was trade occurring at this point. So that immediately gives me, okay, this is a spot that I might be able to work around, because that's going to turn into a hole. But then I also said, okay, why is this happening? Well, since they appear to be so correlated, and we know that Japanese funds have been coming into the market and buying a lot of treasuries, then we can say, okay, these is Japanese funds coming into the market and buying a lot of treasuries again. Now, if that is them buying a lot of treasuries again, then that means that this move is not necessarily informed. It is not an informed move. It is a random move that is being carried out because of mechanical strategies by Japanese pension funds, essentially, right? So, meanwhile, the S&P 500 is like taking off and moving up. So, if that was an uninformed move, what does that mean to me? That says to me that interest rates should be higher, and this is not in line with that. And the price is abnormally high because of them buying. Therefore, I can short it, and I have a good place to do it. So I took it short. So the trade that I made was from here to here. In fact, I bet you, actually, we wouldn't be able to show it on that one. We'd have to show it on the yield one, but which wouldn't be a very good looking chart because there's still not that much volume in it. But that's how I made the trade. That's why I think it's actionable. And it wasn't like some high level view necessarily. It was just a very tactical call on a very short move. If that sounds as good as any reason, okay. Fair enough. Here's the one thing though. Is like, I don't know if you've paid too much, because I don't really hear you say a whole lot when I'm talking about it, but orders move price. There is a significant body of empirical research that suggests this is the case. The markets are not efficient because orders move price. And when we just move off of that theory and we kind of try to explain different things going on in markets, and we use correlations together with it to say, okay, the money is moving from this market and into this market, right? I think that you can get really good explanations for why the market is doing certain things. Very likely explanations. How much higher do you think the E-mini can get today? Let's see here. Let's go to TradingView and look at the VIX and everything. Yeah, what does the projection say? That's exactly what I'm thinking. Okay. Well, the projection says 53.35. Sorry, 45.35. Well, probably we're getting this options move again, right? Probably these same guys that they come in and they buy the out of the money calls and try and push the price up really big on the Monday. It's probably that same. That would be my leading theory for why the S&P 500 is moving up the way that it is today. So when you come back and you look on that 1 minute chart, man, like look at all of my E-mini charts up here at the top. Like that is a very steep move on no news or catalyst at all. Yeah. But as of late, the data that we've been getting has been suggesting that the market gamma and options trading is a significant part of why it's doing that. So I'd say here again, it's reasonable to assume that that's happening again, because we're getting all of the same signs, and it's been happening a lot recently. It's not guaranteed proof, but I think that it's enough that you could make the call and you'd be right most of the time. Vlad's still waiting for his short. I'm going to bet that Vlad is just staying out of it, right? No, I don't short here, Smile. Yeah. What if not? It's been tough for Vlad lately. I'm surprised he's actually quite. When I first started watching him, and it was like, yeah, I like to go short, and he seemed really bearish and everything. I'm like, this guy is gonna get beat up like so hard by this market, right? But he's pretty tactical about it. I've been impressed. He is not just like go short all the time. Like, he bides his time and finds when it's weak, and it's interesting. There's a method to the madness. Okay. Well, that's good. Let's see here. The skew in comments in the Dallas Fed survey is shifting towards bottlenecks, inflation, away from labor shortages. Someone in food manufacturing managed to get in a political diatribe too. Oh, yes. By the way, that move. Oh, okay. So was there something that might be another piece, is that some of that movement in the Japanese yen might have been correlated to a piece of news. Was it CB consumer confidence? No. Pending home sales month over month, -1.8 versus spot 5. Maybe that's what it was. How come I'm not hearing that on my news squawk, though? Financial juice. Wait, it was on this one? No. There was some bill auctions today. Okay, so that might maybe make sense too. Very interesting. But given the 6J correlation, I would really need to see more volume. Maybe I can come in here. Let me see. If I add volume to this chart, that would maybe help us determine. Yeah, there's a decent amount of volume. Wasn't crazy or anything. Certainly more than it's been. Okay. Was it the pending home sales stuff? Wait, so let's come back 47 minutes ago. Pending home sales change, -1.8. Yeah, maybe it was. How did I not know that, guys? Well, I still made a pretty good call on fading it, though. There's maybe a little bit more luck to that than I initially thought, though, huh? I think that's a piece of information that could, I wouldn't say it directly counters it, but there's definitely a reason to think that the catalyst was the pending home sales, right? And then woo, yeah, the E-mini really took off. I used to wish I had $1 million. Now I wish I had less neck pain. Ace is back. Oh, you missed that. Yeah. So we were just going through. We were trying to figure out if maybe there was something with the timing of it that maybe had an effect. So you notice here that at 8 o'clock, we didn't necessarily get the move until just now. So wait, do I have these on different candlestick? Weird. It must just be like that because they haven't moved. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. It was because they just haven't moved. Okay, so when you look at this one, look, they didn't move initially on the report. That's why I missed it. But the fact that it was that there was a piece of news there that I didn't realize had happened, that's definitely something that I think would be contradicting evidence. It wouldn't necessarily be contradicting evidence, but it would be more of a factor that would matter more, right? It's like probably Japanese funds are coming in and buying, but then when the pending home sales is bad, that just like puts more pressure on it. Or maybe it was everyone seeing resistance at whatever price it kept bouncing off of, so all the HFTs went short. Well, so there's problems with a trade like that, though, right? But the flow moves the market for sure, right? We need to get ourselves into a position where we can predict future orders, essentially. Or the Taiwanese hedge funds? Sure, but if it was so, for instance, if it was the Swiss bankers, then we would probably see some footprints of that, right? We would probably see CHF doing something. So I'll give you another reason why the 6J correlation is of such high interest to me right now. Is that very often we're seeing these moves up in the treasuries on very little volume. Like you can see here on the way down, they traded 4K, 3K. This one, the first time that they traded it, it was more like 1,000. And then they've traded 2,000 at 14. They got as low as 13 at one point, right? But like there was volume to trade it down. On the way up though, look at these prints on the way up. Only 500, 700. Like it's like the offers are just pulling and it's going up. So when I see that it didn't take very many orders for it to trade up, I'm immediately thinking, well, why? And very often when that is the case, if you see a move that's like, nonchalant and it just ticks up for no reason and there's like no volume coming in or any reason for it to be ticking up, it's a currency correlation. So that's the other big reason why I'm focused on the 6J, right? But I do think that this moved up on some news too. It was the move on the news was a little bit delayed. It took like 5 minutes for it to happen. But the pending home sales most definitely would have played a factor in that too, right? I don't know if it really canceled out the trade because there was a lot of technical reasons for me to go short there too, but 14 traders in a room in Bangkok, that could be. That's the thing, is it doesn't take that many orders to move price. It takes a lot less orders than retail traders think. Well, I don't know if putting the volume on that chart is going to help or not, but I'm just going to leave it there for now. Let's blame it on Hillary. You know, trying to sort out where a particular move came from, that's definitely the sort of things that we need to be talking about, right? Because that's how we sort out what we really actually know about the market and what we don't. But we also shouldn't be spending too much time arguing, because that's not necessarily, people don't necessarily want to hear us argue. You missed the whole thing earlier where I was going through this Wall Street Journal article about some of these influencers that have become millionaires just from posting about stocks on Facebook. And I was looking through them to see if there was any kind of keywords or anything that we could potentially give us some ideas for what kind of videos people would be more interested in. But almost every video that I saw were ones where the reason people were clicking on it was because they were like, oh my gosh, this changes everything. And there weren't really any keywords involved. So I was frustrated by that. So I was like, what should I do? Because I think before the summer, we were kind of saying, yeah, there's a lot of things that retail traders believe that, you know, don't really work, aren't really true. And we should try and help people by helping them avoid pissing their money away on those things. And we kind of lost the plot during the summer, but that's okay because it was the summer. Now it comes back into September. We want to get back into those sorts of things. But then when I want to get back into it, it's like, yeah, but what kind of video can I actually make that would actually be successful about that? I don't know. Maybe I should just focus more on making more tutorial videos on like order flow, because those seem to do really well on TikTok. And if I went over and made more detailed videos here on YouTube, that would probably do really well, right? Surely the way forward will reveal itself if we just continue doing what we do. Depends on your goal: marketing, money, or building the room, or getting clicks or subscribers. Well, those things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, but I think that the goal is to help as many retail traders as possible, right? Which means that getting clicks and building the room are kind of sub goals, but not if it means having to lie and sell people on some sort of a dream or something that would actually harm them, right? The green bird all on your shoulder. The cat ears. Oh my gosh, did you see the cat ears, Hazel? I don't remember if you were here for the cat ears. Oh man. Cat ears is a way forward for our channel. You can't even see the lights. Come on. The way forward for this room. Never do that again. The way forward for this room, I think, is cat ears. That's what's gonna make, you know. I'm woke now. It fell off of my head. Oh man. Subs are going up now. Oh man, all the likes on the video. They love it. They love it. I would be interested in a Ninja Trader scripting / coding course. Maybe you sell that on Udemy. No, I wouldn't need to sell that, Ganesh. So I have a lot of videos about Ninja Trader scripting. In fact, I think I have. Let's hold on. So I have a Ninja Trader programming playlist, and I have, these are like the basics of the programming bit. Here are some like actual examples where I show you code for strategies. And then this is like a more of like the development process kind of video. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 Ninja Trader programming videos. And I feel that if you use those videos and then you use the documentation that comes with Ninja Trader, that's a really important part, that you should be more than capable of being able to write your own basic stuff from there. And if you don't, if you get stuck, then what you should do is you should message me on Discord, and maybe that gives us an idea of a video that we need to make about it. You know, a gap in that. My bad, I didn't know. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Try that and see where you get with it. Calling Seth a hair is irony. This will be the day where we look back and say, yeah, that was the downfall of this room. Whatever happened to that guy, it was when he started wearing the cat ears. Oh man, no, they're supposed to be fuzzy cat ears that light up. I knew I should have gotten the purple ones. I bet you my wife would love those, you know, because it was like, oh, let's see how the girls, if they like the cat ears. And, you know, like, I thought it was pretty cute. But maybe if they were purple. You know, the cat ears thing, that it's become so successful on TikTok is actually really bizarre, because it was really the furries that kind of started that sort of stuff, right? The furries, and then it kind of bled into anime, and then all of a sudden, when it got onto TikTok, it was like completely normal. Whereas when we were kids, well, this was probably after your time, Aces. You're a little older than me, but when I was a kid, man, if you went to school with cat ears, like, you would get bullied so hard. Time's up. Thanks, Alex. So what should we put in for today's title? Make your trades purr. I don't know what to put in today's title. Another Bubble Up Monday. It really is a little scary when it bubbles up on Mondays like this. Make your trades purr with speculation. Ace, you gotta come over sometime. You would. I'm not gonna, because I hate like having to go in and be like, Ace, you this week. But when you get a free weekend, because I'm usually just here with the kid, you get a free weekend, you want to come down, you just let me know, all right? Yeah, we would have given them a rage speed. Gosh, Ace. Okay. Stay profitable, friends.